Alrighty, we are back again. Plan to finish this first flower and the whole thing down here, the lower left part, this area right in here, and that'll be all we do today. Need to remove this tape off of here. Sometimes you peel the tape off, pulls up the paper, and that is not good. Not quite sure what the problem is. I never had that problem before. Anyway, it's no big deal. You just color right over it. But it is definitely not preferred. So, I think on this one we will just start shading in this right lower spot. So let's just get rid of some of these grid lines since they're in the way. Erase these. Alright, so we will use, I think what we're going to use, let's try this dark olive green. Since it's certainly dark in here, we can overlay it with some of the bright yellow green if we have to. And actually, one good thing about let's put that weight on there. Okay, let's just fill in some of the. It's kind of good that the tape messed up the paper in a spot we're gonna make pretty dark. But I'll be honest, we definitely. Let's see, how does this go? Okay. Definitely would have been better off taping the edges all the way around or coming up with a more sophisticated way of prepping the paper. But I think I was a little too anxious to get going and didn't think too hard about it, but that is okay. It is usually of no consequence. Okay, let's just get this up here. But we'll be more careful when we place tape from now on. You definitely, you don't like messing up your smooth surface. Can't tell you how many times I've had nightmares about handling artwork and just absolutely destroying it. By accident, of course. I think we're just gonna. Okay, let's carry this over this way. Kind of comes to a point right at the bottom of that curve. And then kind of comes down this way. Sort of splotches out in this direction a little bit. Okay, I think first thing we should do is use some of this dark green to kind of darken it, and then we will overlay it with that light green kind of heading over here. An alternative is we probably could have started putting in these little stripy things over here, but that's okay. We'll do that once we just kind of get this part drawn in. Just put a little bit of this in here. And I will say it's kind of giving me a little trouble sticking. See, we're kind of rubbing too hard. It's becoming lighter. It's not, really doesn't matter that much, but it, you know, it doesn't always, things don't always work out as well as you want them to. And you can tell here, this area I pulled the paper up by accident with the tape is got a different texture. Let's vacuum up some of this dust. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's just leave that for now. Honestly, we should have started on the left side, so let's just go over there. We're gonna just draw in a few of these little striped structures, however you want to call them. Like this, we've called them stripes enough to just decide that's what we're gonna call them. Okay. And we'll just use this olive, dark olive green, kind of comes down here. Then kind of coming across here. This is the most awkward. When I'm doing like this, I just absolutely am not capable of doing it that way. So we'll just adjust this way. Much easier that way. And then it kind of comes over. Just very subtle over here. And kind of comes, this one thing kind of comes down here. Okay, and then bring it up just a touch. And that. Okay, and then very light. Very light this way. Let's get these grid lines out the way. Okay, come this way. And then it just kind of very extremely subtle like that. Okay, now let's come back. Let's actually come down here. And we're gonna come up from this point, kind of straight through that corner, very subtle. Okay, we'll come over here. And then right about there, kind of like that. Okay, we get this. Okay. Then we'll come across over here. Kind of like that. Okay, and then it kind of just comes down. And I think we all know the. Okay, and then there's one that kind of just follows this line. Let's take out this grid lines. Oops. Alright, we'll just follow this line just a bit. And kind of like that. Okay, let's take this one out. Okay, just kind of come right down to here. There we go. And this kind of joins over here. And kind of comes like this actually. Then right down here at the bottom we've got a couple things that kind of come up like this. Okay, now let's put in this just a little bit of splotchiness right in here. Okay. Alright. Then we've kind of got these that kind of just come down and become a little brown. Alright. And we've got some very, very subtle stuff happening down here. This is this very subtle hint of something happening over here. Alright. I think we can now take, well, let's just leave them for now, or some of them anyway. Let's do everything above this point. Okay, so kind of like this area, I think we're gonna start with this, maybe skip our darker olive and use the lighter olive and then overlay it with some of that yellow green at the top part. Okay, let's just try this and see what happens. That's actually a pretty good color to start, I think. Let's just kind of cover all this in with this. And then where it needs to lighten up, we'll just lighten it up later. And where it needs to darken up, we'll darken it up. They need to be right in here. Alright, so now we've kind of, as always, well, you know what? Let's use this dark green to accentuate the stripes a bit. because that's kind of the color I think it is. Or not, sometimes. Let's just kind of go back over this. As we've seen 100 times, you can change the color of anything, pretty much. Alright, let's take that darker olive and kind of come in here just a bit. These areas need to be a little darker. And even in here, up against this edge needs to be a little darker. Maybe not quite that dark, but too late. That's okay. Okay, just kind of shade in some dark in here. Kind of connects just a bit. Come down a little bit with it. Alright, let's well, let's do a little smudging and just see what happens. Now, absolutely positively do not touch that black when you're doing this. It will come in and you won't be able to get rid of it. Alright, let's use this one. Come on the top part. There we go. Just brighten up that upper aspect of that. And I think we're gonna have to throw in a little bit of white too. But for now, let's just overlay this with this color. We'll smudge that in. Vacuum some of this dust. Alright, now let's kind of darken this lower part again just a little bit. And you can see that you just get this darker kind of splotch right in the middle of all this. Alright. I don't know what it is about this, is just not. I think what we screwed up honestly was using that forest green to kind of put in these stripes. Let's get rid of that. It was not the right choice. Alright, for now. Okay, now let's come underneath here. Just get rid of these grid lines. All of them. Alright, so what do we have? We've got, I think what we're gonna do, use our lighter colored olive. We're gonna just kind of fill in this sort of wedge, and then we're gonna put some brown on the top of that. Okay, I know what we're gonna do. Alright. Just kind of around here. Start right there and just go up. Just filling in this background with this. Just kind of in this sort of middle spot. And then we can take that lighter colored one and go around that spot. I think we just need to take all these lines out of here. We don't need them anymore. Alright, let's erase all those. I mean, vacuum all those. I'll just come in here with this. And if it's lighter up here, we'll just put white. I'll go real light right now and we'll put white on top of it. Right here, it's not too. I'll just be real light with it in here. Alright. Okay. Let's get a sort of brownish color to just kind of throw in right in here. Just kind of fill in this area. Now we're probably going to want to be darker than this, so let's see. Get something darker than that. Right up here, I need to take this dark olive, kind of fill in this area. Now let's go back over some of these stripes with this thing. Okay. Okay. Now I think we need to be a little more solid with this background though. Alright, let's get something darker in that brown spot. Or add some darker brown to it. This might be a little too dark, but we can manage. Right there. Then it kind of does, just kind of come up in here just a bit. Now all the rest of this is just going to have a, see, here it comes, here's the problem with not having your chalks match your pencils. So let's bring all these over just a little bit, and they actually get a little wider, a little less descript, although they're all subtle pretty much the whole way. Just bring these over just a tiny bit. Okay. Well, let's take some of this light olive and just kind of make some nice kind of splotches in this direction. There's like 2 of them. Just kind of and then I'll tell you what I think I'm gonna do. Well, no, I'm not gonna do it. I want to do it, but I'm just gonna bring this in real subtle. We're just gonna smudge all this in, obviously. There's this kind of whitish area in the middle that kind of gets light, and we'll come back over that with white. But here we kind of just need to fill all this in. Tiny bit in here. And then down here, just kind of a little bit more. And then actually over here, there's a little bit of brown just thrown in here, whatever it is. And then this thing kind of comes off. Alright. Let's smudge all this in. Let me put the vacuum cleaner on that. You should always resist the temptation to blow off your chalk dust, because you will regret it. Little tiny bit of brownish color just in this corner. Alright, let's smudge all this in. Then in here is brown. It's like almost like a cloud. Okay, this is keep smudging. See what we get. It's actually not looking half bad, to be honest. Let's take a little bit of this brownish chalk and just make this little hint of brown in here. I don't think that worked. Alright, let's darken this area again. Make sure we cover the white now. All that white right there, we don't want it there. I think we can now take this pretty green chalk and just kind of overlay a lot of this, most of this whole thing, and just see what happens. But we do want a clean finger. I see some black tried to get in there. Okay. Alright. Kind of splotch that in, especially kind of down here. See what happens if we kind of see if we can cover this ridiculous spot that we tore up with the tape. See how it's very stubborn right there. Just gotta cover that up. Maybe we'll throw in a little bit of this real dark one in here. I actually think we need some black in here, and I mean just a little bit. We gotta be careful, keep touching this area. Let's see, put some black in here. That might be a little more than we need, but let's go ahead and rub it in and see. Yeah, I'm really gonna be stubborn, and I'm gonna try and cover this screw up, but I don't know if it's gonna work or not. You can see it forms its own border. I think if anybody said it's not worth the time and you've screwed up your drawing, they might be right, but we will figure it out. Let's take this one and cover this. Take this one and try to get as much in there as we can. Now let's vacuum that dust. That dust will be the end of us. Alright, now let's try to rub it in. Let's come in here with some of this. Let's come in here with some of our bright yellow green. Kind of lighten this area up a bit. Some splotches kind of in here. Alright, we need more of this. Okay, we need to darken these again. Let's take this one again. Really try to go over this. There. Honestly, there's kind of a yellow tinge to this brown. Kind of put some yellow on top of it. Fill in this little lighter part up here, this little light. Alright, now we need to go back, splotch up this background green again. Hopefully for the last time. little bright green right there at the edge of there. Alright, let's actually go in these brighter areas with the bright green, and then we'll add some white in on the whiter areas. Alright, let's vacuum up some dust. Okay. Let's really make sure I don't have any black on me. Okay. Alright. This is actually looking decent. Let's take some of this lighter brownish chalk and just smudge a little bit kind of on this. Didn't work. Need a lot of it, I guess. Smudge in here. And then maybe actually just a little hint of it down in here. I think we're gonna need to gray up. Put a little bit of gray right in this area. Just this sort of lighter spot. I need to kind of right in there. I'll put some white on top of that. I feel like we need a little bit of the gray. Just kind of filling in these wider areas too. Just a little bit. Almost a touch of blue in this area, but we'll get to that. Let's okay, let's and there's actually alright, let's try to whiten up just a few of these brighter areas. If we could ever find the white, we could do it. There it is. Okay. This top part here needs to be whitish. And then kind of coming right here. And then right in here. And you know, we'll always smudge this in too. Make it more subtle. Okay, and then right in here too. Probably the best way to do it is just kind of make these little circles with it. Kind of avoid things that are supposed to be darker. Let's see if we can. Let's kind of put some on top of here. Okay, let's try to smudge some of this. Alright, and then I think we kind of need to just put a little, maybe a little more darker gray right in this spot. And maybe a little of this brown. That's one of those like gray brown things you can't possibly define the color. Not easily anyway. Alright, let's kind of sharpen up the edge on the left here. But we don't want to put too much black, just a tiny bit. Just sharpen it up. And then we'll soften it with the smudger, with the stump. Right here. Now let's take the blending stump that has some black already on it. Kind of soften the edge we just sharpened. It's a pretty sharp edge though. Not exactly working that well, to be honest, but I think it's okay. Let's use the vacuum for this. Alright, let's just zoom out for a second, see. I think these stripes are still, let's see something here. Let's just take a tiny bit of this bright green chalk. And once again, just kind of, and I'm telling you, you don't want any black on your finger. Let's use my different finger. Just kind of put this in. I feel like this top part is screwed up. Let's just draw in a little more colors we want. Kind of make some attempt to erase that darker green, forest green color we threw in there, which we shouldn't have done. And of course, kind of comes right here. It gets, this edge is pretty sharp under this. Okay, let's vacuum up all that dust. Now, Let's drag some of this color. What on earth was that? Alright, let's kind of soften this edge by bringing some of this color down from this edge. See, like that. And then it's kind of, maybe we'll do one more one more accentuating of the stripes, followed by another smudging. What is the deal? This one is supposed to, this one's at the wrong angle, but you know, whatever. Let's kind of make these just a little fatter, little, and then accentuate them one more time, make them all irregular, not quite as skinny, and then we'll smudge it one last time. This one here. Just make it all just a little fatter, with a few more of those cross. Let's take this sort of definitely not quite getting the right effect down here, but honestly it doesn't matter that much. So you gotta smudge, but not too much. Alright, let us darken this sort of background grayishness in these areas just a bit, especially in here. Alright, let's see. Think we need, let's take this color here. Kind of blend it into all this. Alright, let's stand up and have a look. not quite right. Let's get... Alright. I'll try one more thing here. Some of this darker green. See if we can splotch that on kind of all over the place. Not exactly sure what I'm trying to accomplish with that, but like I said, sometimes you don't know what to do. Just do something. Just do something. And maybe we did accomplish something there. I didn't say something good. Alright, one final effort to darken this spot right here. Let's use this one too. We kind of need a little darker there. Alright, I know what we're gonna do. And this is the last time we're gonna do it. We are going to darken. No, with this. I'm gonna darken it with this chalk right here. And we're gonna smudge it in for better or for worse. And that's it. All right. Alright, we'll just stop there for today. I actually think that came out. Oh, you know what? Nope, nope, nope. There's a little minuscule touch of blue. Probably gonna make a big mistake here, but there's some bluish. There's something blue in this area. Something blue. That didn't do anything. Alright, I think we're done. We're good enough for now. Just remember, you come back over everything again after fixation, or you certainly can address everything again after you fix the picture. Of course, the texture will be slightly different then, but it still can and should be done. Alright, next time.